July 21st. How did I move this 7,000-pound beast into the cleaning tank? Well, it wasn't 7,000 pounds, but it's a lot. Put that metal pan under that end so I could slide it across the workbench without scraping up the workbench. It's a little dirty down on the headstock end. But what do you expect? Aren't they all? Come on, there we go. Get this baby clean, I can start putting it back together. Trying to get all the surfaces. There it is, folks. July 21st, 47. Amazing. So this lathe is 60, 70, 69 years old. Still being used. Soon to be used again. Wow. You know, I first started my lathe adventure. My very first lathe that I bought as an investment was this Logan. And it's been on this toolbox ever since. And I have finally getting to see this top of this toolbox again. That's awesome. Man, I need a work surface. This would be the only open work surface in the shop. I'm ashamed to say. Woo! Look at that baby glisten! The glistening of Stoddard solvent. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Check it out. What don't you see there? You don't see that milling machine head. Look where it is. It's up here. Isn't that awesome? Why didn't I get some help to set that up there a long time ago? Look at the room it cleared up in my shop. I had to stack all the junk that was on here on there. But at least I'm getting somewhere. My neighbor Jim came over and helped me lift this up here. He's in a wheelchair. You believe that shit? No, he ain't in a wheelchair. But this ain't too bad, but it's too heavy for one guy. And sure I'm glad to get it up here. I would love to paint it. I may paint it because it's really in good shape. It's just the paint's flaking off of it everywhere. But man, what a project. And I just don't have time for it. But I'm going to sell this mill because I want to put my new mill right here. Right here. Can't wait to show it to you. But there's the stand. That beautiful cast iron stand. Almost hate to sell a lathe I got a stand for. But you know what? There'll be another one. I'll keep my eyes peeled. But you know, I'm getting rid of a machine and gaining a machine. I need to get rid of 2 machines so I can gain a machine. So I can gain room and space to work at the same time. So now I can get this thing, I wonder where that square head screw goes. Now I can get this thing outside and get it cleaned up. I think I'm just going to soap and water this thing, this stand. And then I've got a few days to put the lathe back together on it. And we'll get her down the road. Well, it's Wednesday morning. I'm out here pushing my project forward. I got to get this Logan lathe sold and finishing getting it cleaned up, which is making sure that when the guy comes to see it, he's going to leave with it. And besides, I hate to sell somebody something that's all messy and nasty. If you have a goal, you need to do something about it every day possible. That's how you make it come true. My goal is to get that new mill. I'm going to get that new mill. I'm going to do everything I have to do to make sure it happens. I'm basically getting that mill with no money out of pocket. Because I'm trading a piece of excess equipment. First I'm selling this to somebody else, and I'm taking that money and trading it to the guy that wants the mill. wants to sell the mill. Well, it's hard for me to stop. I want to straighten this out. Just gonna hold that block up like that. That's looking pretty good. Look at that. Got rid of a blemish. Can't help myself. I got to see if this Massey Ferguson gray. I love these magic paints here. Not even close. Not even close. Well, I got the lathe bed transferred back up onto the table. This is the head end, or the headstock end, and I need to turn this around. Now, I really can't pick this bed up by myself. It's so heavy. So what I've got down here on this end of the bed is the back of an old notepad, so that the bed will swivel and slide around nice for me. Then I'm going to swing this around and set it on the stand, because I only really need to pick up half the bed at a time. You want to try to look smart. I want to be careful and make sure I don't let it get off of there. Now I can work it down here and never have to lift more than half of the bed. There we go. Now, this pan, there's no support between the legs except for the bed, and these are the bolts for the bed. So I've got to be careful how I take this apart and get the bed in position so this doesn't all fall apart on me. An advantage I have on this end is the motor and belt unit sets down here. So I can, and so there's an extra bracket down here that's bolted to the leg. So I can put some bolts in here to keep this set of legs from falling out. Here's the motor bracket, and it's bolted to the legs. So I can put fasteners between the pan and this motor bracket to hold the legs in place under chip pan while I bolt the leg feet down to it. Wish I'd started working on this Logan lathe sooner. I'm getting under the gun here. I've had to buy some gears. And this gear I bought, $25 plus $6 shipping, a 48 tooth gear. One of the gears on the lathe has some brass teeth. There's actually two gears with brass teeth. One of them is beautiful. It was welded up and remachined properly. And then the other one, this gear here, which is part of the gear change stack, it looked like they were hand filed. They were terrible, really thin. So I ordered that gear to replace it. Now I couldn't turn the carriage feed shaft very well, and I was trying to find what was causing it to stick, lead screw, and it turned out it was this part right here. So if we look, and I just ordered this, which was, as you can see, $80 some shipped. And if we look at this gear, you can see like this tooth here, this tooth, this tooth, this tooth, these three teeth are bent around compared to the other teeth. See, these teeth are straight. And look how these three teeth are laid over. I can't fix that. Now I could perhaps 3D print one of these, so I'm going to keep this bad gear to measure, and maybe I'll be making those in the future. I don't know. But the gear is just not usable. So here's the bearing block that it goes in, the retainer, and I'm going to possibly deliver the lathe without this installed and ship the guy the gear, because it's not going to get here probably until late next week, and I need the money for the lathe and I need to get it delivered, and this guy's a pretty smart lathe man, so I don't think he'll be afraid to install that gear when it comes in. Then I had this box that I ordered a long time ago, and I remembered that it had this hand wheel in it. It's the wrong color, but this is the proper hand wheel for the tailstock. The tailstock currently has a shop-made hand wheel, which is ugly. And here's one of the spindle gears, the small spindle gear. And I took this out of the box and I thought, I forgot about ordering this. And if we go over here and look at the lathe, a little dark. Let me take it out of back here. You can see right there is 3 dowel pins. And I've seen gears repaired that way before. And we have some chipped teeth. And so when I first bought this lathe, I saw this. I saw these chipped teeth and this missing tooth that was replaced with 3 dowel pins. And I went ahead and ordered this because I just thought, this isn't worth it. I think I gave the guy like $50 for this gear and the hand wheel. So I guess since I have this gear, I'm going to go ahead and take the spindle apart and install it. It looks like possibly the cross slide was fed all the way to the inside limit and jammed up, was probably what bent those teeth. And I don't think that caused this damage. I mean, this is a 1947 lathe. Who's to say what happened that caused this? But, you know, such as it is, any old lathe is going to need some repair parts. I hope I can get the guy to share in the cost of them, but I'll probably have to eat it. So at first I was trying an Allen wrench in here before I realized, hey, that's not an Allen wrench. It's a hole for a spanner, or a pin spanner. I guess that's what this is called. Look at that. So here's what that tool looks like. And I'm starting to buy these if I ever see any laying around, I'm going to grab them. Because on tools, machine tools, you need wrenches like this. And what a handy way to make a nut. You know, where you can take a piece of round stock and all you have to do is put a hole in it to accommodate that little paw, and boom, you have a really cool nut. So I'm not expecting this lathe to just fall apart. And I haven't rehearsed this. So we'll see what happens. I'm not a rehearser, guys. That almost kind of seems like faking it, doesn't it? Ah, so there's a key in there. Well, of course there's a key. Of course, this is a plastic hammer. You know me and my plastic hammers. It's almost all you ever see me pick up. I'm going to keep my hand here because I don't want to knock this onto the ground and chip a tooth. It's a good gear. So this Logan lathe is nice. I understand why Tubal Cain loves these. It's got all steel gears in it. This is a nice lathe. I may, at some point, have to get me one. Well, that looks like a Woodruff key. There's no slot in this collar. I think it's Woodruff key. I can't find my side cutters, which is really the right tool for this job. Let's see if I can get it out like this. There we go. Oh, it's not coming loose, is it? No, of course not. I need to find a set of side cutters.